If you've ever checked your bank account and thought, how am I working this hard and still can't break 5 grand? This video is for you. Because here's the weird part. You might be scraping together your first $5,000 right now. Stressed, exhausted, cutting subscriptions, skipping dinners out. Meanwhile, someone else who already crossed that line is casually adding $10,000, $20,000, sometimes $50,000 without even trying that much harder. And that feels unfair. You're doing everything right, but progress feels painfully slow. Bills pop up, something breaks, an unexpected expense wipes out weeks of discipline. And every time you get close, life punches you right back down. If that sounds familiar, look, nothing is wrong with you. But there is something most people don't understand about money at low levels. And once you understand it, this whole thing finally makes sense. Introduction. My name is James, and I spend way too much time thinking about why your first $5,000 is way harder than your next $50,000. If you're someone who's struggling financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, I want to explain why the first stage of wealth building feels so brutal, why it's not your fault, and what actually changes once you finally break through it. And yeah, we're going to talk math, but we're also going to talk psychology. Because money isn't just numbers. It's behavior, pressure, and survival instincts colliding all at once. The brutal reality of the first $5,000. Let's challenge the biggest assumption right away. Most people think saving money is just about discipline. That if you're not saving, you're irresponsible, lazy, bad with money. That's nonsense. Here's the thing. At low net worth levels, money works against you. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 57% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency without borrowing or selling something. That means more than half the population lives in a constant state of financial vulnerability. And when you live there, every dollar has a job. Not a future job, a right-now job. Rent, food, gas, insurance, minimum payments, surprise expenses, stress. Your money doesn't compound, it disappears. So when you hear someone say, just save $500 a month, it sounds reasonable on paper. But in real life, that $500 is already spoken for by reality. This is where it gets really interesting. The hidden cost of being broke. That no one talks about. Being broke is expensive. Not metaphorically, literally. You pay higher interest rates, you get worse insurance options. You pay late fees, you pay overdraft fees. You can't buy in bulk. You can't wait for deals. According to a study by the CFPB, lower income households pay thousands more per year in financial penalties than wealthier households. Not because they're worse with money, but because they don't have margin. Margin is the real flex. Without margin, everything becomes urgent. And urgency is the enemy of wealth. Here's an example. Let's say you make $50,000 a year. After taxes, that's roughly $3,200 a month. Your expenses? Rent, $1,400. Car plus insurance, $450. Food, $500. Utilities, phone, internet, $300. Minimum debt payments, $250. You're already at $2,900. That leaves $300. Now tell me, with a straight face, how easy it is to save $5,000 when $300 is your buffer for everything. Car repair? Gone. Medical bill? Gone. One bad month? Back to zero. This is why the first $5,000 feels impossible. Because it's not just saving. It's survival with discipline layered on top. Why $5,000 is a psychological wall. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain treats money differently at different levels. Below $5,000, money feels fragile, temporary, unsafe. Behavioral economists call this scarcity mindset, and it changes how your brain functions. Studies from Princeton show that financial scarcity reduces cognitive bandwidth by the equivalent of losing 13 IQ points. That's the same impairment as staying awake for 24 hours straight. So when someone says, just budget better, they're ignoring the fact that your brain is already overloaded. You're not bad with money, you're overloaded. This is why tiny setbacks feel massive when you're broke, and why the first few $1,000s feel like climbing a vertical wall. Why the next $50,000 is so much easier. Now let's fast forward. You finally hit $5,000 saved. Something strange happens. You stop panicking every time something goes wrong. You don't need to use the credit card immediately. You can wait, compare, decide. Your money starts acting like a shield instead of a sponge. And once that happens, everything speeds up. Let's say you've got $5,000 emergency fund, stable income. No immediate crises. Now, when you save $500, it stays saved. Not because you're suddenly disciplined, but because the system stopped fighting you. This is where compounding behavior kicks in before compounding returns. And this is why someone with $10,000 often reaches $50,000 faster than they reached $5,000. The math no one explains. Look, let's get concrete. If you save $300 per month equals $3,600 per year. Your first $5,000 takes about 16 months, assuming nothing goes wrong, which is optimistic. But once you have margin, two things happen. Your expenses become more predictable. Your savings stop getting reset. Now, let's say you get a small raise, or cut one expense. Now, you're saving $700 a month. That's $8,400 a year. Your next $50,000 doesn't take 10 times longer. It takes about 6 years, often less if you invest. The slope changes, and psychologically, you stop self-sabotaging. Why people give up right before it gets easier? Here's the tragedy. Most people quit right before the inflection point. They grind, they struggle, they get burned out, and they say, "What's the point?" But the point is this: money is hardest when it matters most, and easiest once you least need it. That's cruel, but understanding that changes everything. The identity shift that changes your financial trajectory. Here's what most people don't realize. Saving the first $5,000 isn't about the money. It's about becoming a different person. Someone who plans ahead, delays gratification, trusts themselves, expects progress. Once that identity locks in, behavior becomes automatic. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" You start asking, "Is this worth delaying my momentum?" That's when wealth starts to accelerate. Actionable steps to reach your first $5,000. Faster. Let's make this practical. Step 1. Separate survival from progress. Your emergency fund is not an investment. It's insurance for your future self. Step 2. Automate before you optimize. Even $50 per paycheck builds momentum. Step 3. Kill the reset button. Your biggest enemy is setbacks that undo progress. Reduce volatility first. Step 4. Increase income before extreme frugality. An extra $500 per month matters more than cutting coffee. Step 5. Track net worth, not just savings. Progress creates motivation. Final thoughts, and the part no one says out loud. Look, I get slightly frustrated when people glamorize wealth without acknowledging the brutal early phase. because the beginning is lonely. It's discouraging. It feels invisible. But if you're struggling to hit that first $5,000, that doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Push through this phase, and money stops being your enemy. It becomes your tool. And once that happens, the next $50,000 doesn't just come faster. It comes inevitably. So if this helped you understand your situation a little better, hit the like button, subscribe for more practical finance breakdowns. And remember, the hardest money you'll ever earn is the money that buys you breathing room. Everything after that gets easier.